My name's Chelsea Keller.
My name's Bryson Keller.
And we read the book The Essential 55 by Ron Clark. For my summary of the book, I think that all of the rules were expectable of your students, that you should expect them all to treat you that way and to act that way within the classroom. But I do feel like some of them were over the top, and I don't know that all of my students are going to be expected to act that way.
I essentially agree with her. I think that he has a good premise with the book and the fact that he gives his students these rules to more or less live by, but I do think he takes it a little extreme. If some of the examples he gives in the book are actual examples that he's done, I don't wish to follow in his teaching footsteps at all, just because in one of the rules he says that he grabs a child's bag of chips that he brought to school and then proceeds to stand over the trash can and crush them, and in my opinion that's just nothing but destructive teaching. So I don't know, I don't think I would hold the rules quite as extreme, but I do think he has a good foundation for teaching.
There's also an example where he talks about how I believe he's teaching 5th grade too, and he is trying to teach his students that you must be respectful because he was teaching at a school that was kind of on the lower end of being upper class and stuff like that. He was teaching at a lower class school, and he expected them to say thank you. And he would give lollipops out if they did good on their test or not, and one student didn't say thank you within 3 seconds, so he took the lollipop from the student and he proceeded to eat it instead of allowing the student to have it, which he got it because he was being rewarded for a good grade, which I just think is wrong. If you're going to reward the child, then reward the child, and not every child is brought up how you would exactly expect them to be, and I don't feel like it's necessarily the teacher's responsibility to act as the parent when in the classroom.
I also believe that some of the rules he gives are not rules that should be taught by teachers, that they are rules that should be taught by parents, and in my opinion he overstepped his boundaries a bit. In one of his rules he says that kids should only eat so many portions at dinner, and that when he takes them to a buffet type restaurant on a field trip, he only allows them to have 3/4 of their plate full, and in my opinion it's not something that a teacher needs to be telling children. If the parent allows them to fill their plate completely or stack food on top of one another, then it's not a teacher's place to tell that student otherwise, because then the student's going to be confused and say, well, I act this way at home, why am I not allowed to act this way at school?
And also, he talks about how he rewards his students in multiple ways, so not just with candy or stuff like that, but he would take them places. So one group of students did really good on a test, so he took them to a basketball game, and he paid for all of them to sit in seats that were really close to the court, and he paid for all their food and everything, and they got to meet people, and it was really neat. Whereas a couple weeks later, another group of students did well, and the only thing he was going to do for them was go bowling. So, of course, the students are going to be upset and be like, okay, why are we only going bowling? But what student isn't going to be upset at that age for the fact that one group of students got a way better prize than they got for doing just as well? So, overall, I would say that the book was a good thing. I mean, I think that every teacher going into the profession should read it, but at the same time, I believe that not every teacher needs to have the same aspects as him, and that the way that he goes about teaching isn't necessarily correct.
And I agree 100%. I think he has a very good idea behind teaching children certain rules with life. However, in my opinion, he overstepped his boundaries with some. Thank you.